Once upon a time, a simple girl lovingly prepared lunch for her father every day. One afternoon, she decided to bring it to his workplace herself. With a gentle smile and humble grace, she handed her father the food, not knowing that someone was watching. One of her father's co-workers couldn't take his eyes off her. He was struck not just by her beauty, but by the sweetness in her every gesture. The next day, with courage blooming in his chest, he showed up at her house along with his friends. He serenaded her right under her window, his voice shaky but sincere. She opened the curtain, surprised, then smiled, thrilled by the unexpected gesture. From that moment on, love quietly blossomed. Time passed, and the girl who once brought lunch to her father became a wife, now bringing lunch to her husband. At home, she poured her heart into every chore, washing the dishes, sweeping the floors, making their home a heaven. And when her husband returned from work, tired and worn, she was always there, ready to untie his shoes, serve him hot coffee, and wrap him in the warmth of her care. It was a simple love, but in that simplicity was everything. Hands submerged in soapy water, scrubbing the plates from dinner. Her husband, lost in his video games, barely glanced her way. She turned for a moment and looked at him, disappointment shadowing her tired eyes. No words, just silence. Later, she placed dinner on the table. She was exhausted, but he, the husband, still on his game, as if nothing else existed. That night, he asked for her body. She hesitated, whispered, "I'm tired." But before the moment could stretch further, his father arrived. They both greeted the old man with respect, but as soon as he sat down, her husband called out again, "Get him some water." She obeyed, as always. Hours passed. Their daughters finally came home late. The father's voice roared through the house. "Where have you been?" One daughter tried to explain, but before she could finish, his hand found her face. The sons came home, also late. But instead of rage, he welcomed them with a smile. While the wife sweeping the floor, her friend stopped by, asking if she wanted to come out and breathe, just for a while. For a second, hope lit her face. But then, he appeared. He looked her straight in the eye, his stares heavy with silent threat. She lowered her gaze. She cannot do anything but go back inside. Two brothers shouting, pushing, fighting over something neither would let go. Their sisters rushed in, trying to pull them apart. One yelling, one crying, pleading for peace. But fists flew louder than reason. Upstairs, another sister ran to tell their parents, and within seconds, both mother and father came rushing down. "What is happening here?" the father cried. But before anyone could answer, he clutched his chest, his face twisted in pain, and in a heartbeat, he collapsed. Later, in the dim light of the bedroom, they all gathered around the bed, tears falling like rain. The father lay still, his breath shallow, and then no more. Grief filled the silence. Day passed. A lawyer came, papers in hand. Their mother, broken and quiet, signed everything over to her sons. The house, the land, the legacy of the man who once held them all together. The sons signed too, almost too quickly. Their eyes, no longer wet with sorrow, now gleam with something else, excitement. The lawyer took them to the land they now owned together. As they stood under the sun, they laughed, jumped with joy, celebrated what they had now.